I was really outgoing. Loved the beach. Academically very bright. I went to a selective school. I was very studious. I was a good girl. When I was 14, so I was in year 8 at high school, I was still a child. I was sexually assaulted on multiple occasions.
Now 42, Karen Isles says she has never recovered from this trauma.
At the time when I was raped, my whole sense of self, my whole identity were just stripped bare from me. It's unspeakable, the amount of trauma.
Karen still recalls how difficult it was to report her alleged sexual assault at the police station.
It was only when I reached adulthood that I started to feel comfortable in describing what had happened to me.
Last year, Karen obtained police documents through a Freedom of Information request and discovered that police did not pursue her allegations.
When I reported to police, I expected that they would do something. My whole sense of self, my entire identity was completely ripped apart at that time.
It was during this process that Karen decided she was finally going to get help.
I reached out to a specialist sexual assault clinic attached to the local hospital. Unfortunately, their wait list is 12 months long. I'm still on the wait list.
It's not okay. When it takes the bravery and courage to step forward, it's really important that we acknowledge that that person has a human right to access the appropriate support. Morning.
Morning, Tara. How are you?
As the former manager of a sexual assault service in Sydney, Tara Hunter says that means it can be months before help is available, and in other cases there's no help at all.
Those services are absolutely buckling under the pressure of the demand. So we've seen an exponential increase in reports of sexual assault. There are massive gaps in terms of having a responsive and accessible system.
730 has obtained exclusive access to wait lists of sexual assault services across the country. In New South Wales, the clinic at the RPA hospital in Sydney has a wait list of between 6 to 12 months. Westmead Hospital in Sydney's West currently has an 8-month wait list. In Queensland, it's a 6 to 9 month wait for the service at Toowoomba and 1.5 years for some of the counselling programs at Laurel Place in the Sunshine Coast. And there are some black spots around Australia where there are no services at all.
My staff are working absolutely as hard as they possibly can, and they feel the burden of that wait list. They feel the guilt of that. They carry that every day.
The Allambie Centre in the Peel region of WA experienced a 40% increase in demand in the past 2 years. They have 56 people on their wait list.
Across both of our sexual assault services, we've got less than 4 counsellors across the 2 services, which, when you consider the amount of demand and the number of people waiting, really just, it doesn't add up.
The Western Australian government is now in the process of reforming its policies on sexual violence to address the crippling shortages.
I am absolutely very hopeful. And the hope and the goal is that as a result of these reforms is that we will see better outcomes for victim survivors where they have timely access to specialist services across the state, no matter where they live.
Hi, you've called Full Stop Australia. How can I help you today?
The National Sexual Assault Hotline operated by Full Stop is unable to respond to 1 out of 3 callers.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good at all.
We can't rest while we have areas across the country where people who are impacted by sexual violence cannot even access a single service. It is incredibly urgent.
The Federal Minister for Women's Safety, Anne Ruston, said in a statement that the government is in the process of establishing a Domestic, Family and Sexual Violence Commission to deliver better results for victim survivors.
This is the psychological report that I had conducted earlier this year. And
after being turned away 3 times, Karen Isles ended up getting counselling. But she says it was a combination of luck and persistence to access the support she so desperately needed. Her psychological report says the years of unaddressed trauma has had a significant impact on her ability to heal.
I was left to my own devices, and somehow I don't know how, somehow I pulled myself through it. Somehow. Good family, beautiful husband, amazing friends. But I'm quite conscious that not all women can do that, and that's why I'm speaking out today.